I gave them $22,000 for the wedding. Then I got a message. Please come without your wife. I smiled, left the group chat, and stayed home. I didn't interrupt the wedding. The cake did that for me. Then I got 143 missed calls from almost every guest. Please come without your wife. That was the message. No greeting, no explanation, no attempt to soften the slap in the face. Just 5 cold words in the family chat, like they meant nothing. Like my wife was disposable. Like I was too. I reread the message 3 times, thinking maybe I'd misread it. Maybe autocorrect played a cruel joke. But no, it was clear. Please come without your wife. No punctuation. No context. That was it. I put the phone on the kitchen counter. My hands weren't shaking. I wasn't even angry. Just very, very still. Caroline came in from the living room, holding her teacup. You look like someone just died. I didn't say anything. I just handed her the phone. She read the message in silence. Her lips tightened. No tears, no drama. Just silence. Well, she said after a moment, finally breaking the silence. They said it out loud. I nodded. What are you going to do? I opened the group chat. Lily and Tyler's dream wedding team. Scrolled to the bottom and hit leave chat. I'm going to do exactly what they asked, I said calmly. I'm not bringing her. She looked at my face. You're going without me? No, I said. We're not going. She exhaled and looked away for a second. I knew it would come to this. I just didn't think they'd put it in writing. Neither did I. For months, I'd been the wallet with no opinion. Layla cried on FaceTime about how expensive everything was. Everyone looked at me. You've always been the responsible one, my mom would say. She's your sister, my dad added. She's never asked for anything before. Everyone lied. So I paid. The venue, the flowers, the photo booth, the charcuterie wall, even the cake. Especially the cake. 7 tiers. Imported frosting. Custom design. The kind of cake that costs more than rent. They took my money with smiles on their faces, and then said my wife wasn't welcome. Why? Because she doesn't laugh at Layla's jokes? Because she doesn't play the perfect daughter-in-law? Because she once asked Tyler at dinner, do you actually like Layla? Or are you just scared of her? Yeah, probably that. That likely sealed the deal. But Caroline never said a word. She just stood there, holding the phone, jaw tight, eyes dry. She looked at me, really looked at me. I knew you'd choose me, she said. But it still hurts. I nodded. Then let's stay home. I smiled. But I'm still contributing to the wedding. She raised an eyebrow. You already gave them $22,000. I did, I said. But there's one item I quietly adjusted. The wedding happened. Oh, it happened. It was glamorous. Instagram-worthy. Platinum details. Live quartet. Guests in pale pink and cream, like a Vogue editorial. Layla glowed in every photo. Tyler looked appropriately miserable. My parents smiled like they'd raised royalty. Everything was perfect, until the waiter brought the cake. That's when the calls started. 1, then 3, then 20, then 75 missed calls in 2 hours. From my mom, Layla, Tyler, even Aunt Martha, who once called me cheap for bringing supermarket wine at Christmas. I didn't answer. I sat on the couch, poured myself a drink, clinked my glass gently against Caroline's, and said, Happy wedding day, Layla. 22,000, I muttered, checking my bank app again. Caroline looked up from her laptop, still checking. I turned my screen to her, just making sure I really paid for this whole illusion. The final invoice from Lean Into Events was still in my inbox. $22,480. That's not counting the extra $350 for the last-minute pedestal rebooking and the veil stylist Layla had to have, because the first one gave off discount energy. I paid it all, and the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. Not about the money, about how easy it was for them to accept it. It didn't start with the wedding. It started years ago, the moment I got a decent job out of college. My parents labeled me the responsible one, which meant bank, fixer, therapist, mover, accountant, sometimes babysitter. And Layla? Layla was sensitive, which meant manipulative, a professional victim, and a black belt in crocodile tears. You're the stable one, my mom always said, like it was a compliment. Layla's not like you, my dad added. She's more emotional. Right. Emotional. Like when she crashed her car, texting and driving, and blamed the sun, and I paid her insurance deductible. Or when she got fired for creative differences, and I helped her through her rough patch. Read. I covered her rent for 4 months. Or when she started her own business, which meant I built her Etsy page and bought her overpriced, hand-glued wine glasses to give her inventory. Every time she failed, I was the safety net. And every time I helped, she failed harder. Caroline saw it from day one. They don't respect you, she said one night after Layla sent me a Venmo request, labeled, just a teeny emergency. She's family, I said. It's not a big deal. Caroline looked at me like I'd grown a second head. It's never a big deal until you wake up broke and alone. She wasn't wrong, but she was patient. God, she was patient. She smiled through every dinner, where my mom made passive-aggressive comments about her outfit. She endured Layla's fake compliments like, "You're lucky he doesn't care about status," or "Low profile is cute on you." She held my hand under the table, while my dad gave another speech about how we all needed to be there for Layla. During this life transition, Caroline never snapped, never made a scene, never gave them what they wanted, because what they wanted was for her to lose control, so they'd have a reason to hate her publicly. But she didn't give them that satisfaction, so they got more creative. The clown turned, winked at a nearby phone camera, and with a huge grin said, "Bye, Layla. You're the star now," then disappeared into the smoke. Somewhere on the internet, a hashtag was born, #ClanCake. It trended almost instantly. I didn't even need to turn on the TV. Caroline showed me everything through the guest live streams. The moment the clown jumped out of the cake, Caroline nearly choked on her wine. When the chickens flew, she fell off the couch. And when the feathers hit the ceiling, she wiped a tear and whispered, "You're an absolute artist." I raised my glass and toasted the screen. Happy wedding day, Layla. The next morning, the silence was deafening. Too quiet. I woke to perfect sunlight on my face and the smell of coffee from the kitchen. For a second, it felt like just another Sunday, until I saw my phone. 143 missed calls. Family group chats renamed things like "not funny," "you went too far," and to us, "you're dead." Messages from my mom, from Layla, from relatives I hadn't seen in years. Then came the texts. "How could you do this to your own sister? That cruel stunt ruined everything. You humiliated the whole family. Your mother's crying. Layla won't eat. Hope you're happy now, you clown." I read them while sipping coffee. Caroline walked in wearing her robe, still half asleep. "Anything interesting this morning?" I handed her the phone. She read 3 messages and handed it back. "Wow," she said. "You really broke them all." That afternoon, there was a knock at the door. Not polite, not subtle. It was aggressive. I opened it. My mom was standing there, sunglasses on, like a celebrity dodging paparazzi. Behind her, my dad looked like he hadn't slept. I didn't say anything. "We need to talk," she snapped, walking into the house without asking. My dad followed, sighing like he already regretted coming. Caroline stayed in the kitchen. She knew better than to get involved. My mom stopped in the living room and turned to me. "You ruined your sister's wedding." "She ruined mine first," I replied firm. She tried to wave it off. "Don't be dramatic. It was just a message. A message saying, don't bring your wife. Silence. You humiliated her in front of 200 people. There was a clown. Yes, I said. There was. She hasn't left her room in 24 hours. My dad added, like I was supposed to care. She might be traumatized, my mom said. There are videos all over the internet. I saw them, I replied. People seem to have loved the flying chickens. My mom narrowed her eyes. You think this is funny? I think it's poetic. She lost it. You're a bitter little boy who can't stand seeing his sister happy. I stood. And you're a mother who taught her daughter that love is control, and money means silence. My dad stepped forward. That's enough. No, I said. We're just getting started. They tried to interrupt. I kept going. My whole life, I paid for everything in silence. Because that's what you taught me. Shut up and be useful. I watched Layla destroy everything I cared about. And you said nothing. You smiled and called it family. My voice was steady, cold. Now it's my turn to smile. My mom looked like she was about to scream. Instead, she turned sharply. You're no longer part of this family. She stormed out. My dad lingered, looked at me. I didn't know about the message, he said quietly. But you didn't stop it either, I replied. He nodded once and followed her out. The door closed. Silence again. By Monday, the clown wedding video had 2.3 million views on TikTok. By Tuesday, remixes. By Wednesday, BuzzFeed ran it. Bride gets clown bombed at her own wedding. Literally. Layla deleted all her accounts. Tyler cut the honeymoon short. Some said he went to stay with his cousin. Others that he left town. I didn't care. I was finally sleeping well. Then Friday came. I was out running errands when Caroline called. Babe, she said, her voice low. You need to come home. Now. I rushed back. She was in the kitchen, holding a brown envelope. This came. Hand-delivered. No sender. I opened it. Inside was one sheet of paper with bold text. You thought you were the only one she used. And a paper-clipped USB drive. I plugged it into my laptop. Inside, a folder. Screenshots. Bank transfers. Texts. Audio recordings. All between Layla and our cousin Jordan. Turns out my clown cake wasn't the only performance she starred in. She had 2 weddings planned. Mine, the public one, and Jordan's, the secret one. He'd been funding her second life for almost 6 months. The last message, the night before the wedding. Don't worry, babe. It's just a performance. I just need the ring for the prenup. Once I have that, it's over. You swear. Jordan, do you really think I could love someone like Tyler? I leaned back in my chair. Caroline stared at the screen, then looked at me. Do we send this to Tyler? I stayed quiet for a moment, then smiled. No, I said. We're going to deliver it. With a bow. I didn't sleep that night. Not from guilt. Because I'd never felt more awake. I sat at my desk. USB still plugged in. Folder full of proof open. The words echoed like a war drum. You thought you were the only one she used. Layla. Of course it was Layla. If anyone could cheat truth itself, it was her. She didn't just take my money. She took his too. Jordan, our cousin. Another savior complex with a fat bank account. The messages were clear. She'd been making promises for months. Said the public wedding was just protocol. Said she'd end it after getting the ring and prenup. She married Tyler, but loved Jordan's money. And in the end, ruined it with both. The sun was rising when I got up. Made coffee, toasted a bagel. Caroline came downstairs in an oversized t-shirt, kissed my cheek. You're freakishly calm, she said. I feel great. You have the glow of a villain in a monologue. I handed her a stack of printed files. She read 3 pages, looked up at me, and whispered, Oh my God, we're not mailing it. I said, We're delivering it. Tyler wasn't at his apartment. Hadn't been back since the wedding. But our cousin Brian said he saw him at the gym. We went. And there he was, pummeling a punching bag like it stole his childhood. I called his name once. He turned, sweaty, eyes red, walked toward us like someone facing a firing squad. "If you came to gloat," he said, "take a number." I said nothing, just handed him the red folder. He frowned and opened it. His eyes skimmed it first, then slowed, then widened. He flipped a page, then another, then the photo, Layla in Jordan's apartment, one leg uncovered, wine glass in hand. His hand started shaking. She said she needed a stable future. She needed a sponsor, I said. He sat down on a bench, folder in his lap, covered his face. She told me I was the first man she ever truly trusted. I sat beside him. She says that to anyone who signs the checks. He didn't cry. I could tell he wanted to, but he held it in. Instead, he whispered, "She's a black hole. Swallows good things, spits out lies." I nodded. She almost got all of us. He looked at me and said something I didn't expect. "Thank you." We shook hands. I walked away. That night, I turned off my phone. Caroline and I made pasta, opened a bottle of wine we'd been saving for a year, laughed, and let the world burn without us. By morning, the Bridezilla clown video had over 4 million views. Clips became memes. Someone auto-tuned the clown's line, "You ordered perfection. We brought the reflection." It hit Spotify's viral charts. Layla vanished from social media. Jordan deleted his entire account. But the internet remembers. Screenshots, hashtags, reaction videos. She became a walking cautionary tale. For days later, my parents called. I didn't answer. Then came the email. "Whatever happened between you and Layla, you went too far. You dishonored this family." I replied with one sentence. I didn't dishonor this family. I just documented it. Blocked. Simple. Done. A week later, a letter arrived. No return address. Inside, a crumpled thank you card, handwritten by Layla. It looked like she scratched the words with her soul. "You were always better than me. That's why I hated you. You never wanted anything from anyone, just peace. And we couldn't even give you that. You won. Hope it was worth it." I read it once. Then again. Caroline walked in and saw me holding the card. "Is it an apology?" she asked. "No," I said. "It's a confession, but not the kind that heals anything." I didn't reply. Instead, I framed it, hung in my office. Not out of pride, but as a reminder, never again. 2 months have passed. Next week, Caroline and I are flying to Portugal. Our first real trip. No obligations. No fake invites. No sister begging for money. I changed my number, deleted the family chat, started therapy, and something strange happened. People, distant relatives, even old classmates started messaging me privately. "I wish I had the courage to do what you did. You were right to walk away." That clown cake was iconic. It became more than a moment. It became a line in the sand. A declaration. Enough. Enough pretending. Enough enabling dysfunction. Enough carrying people who spit in your face once your wallet runs dry. Caroline and I toast to that every Friday now. She raises her glass and says, "To Miss Perfection," and I finish, "May she stay far away from the throne." Then we drink. We laugh. We live. And we never look back.